Okay, just want a quick review of assignment 9. If you have some questions about it, this will help you out, add a little more detail to it. So again, we're gonna this is based on assignment 3, which we did a while back. um, and there you could either calculate the maximum heart rate or the currency converter, and we simplified it a little bit. You only had one part of the heart rate and things like that, but now we're going to make it a little more complicated. But first you should download the attached project here. So assignment 9, if calculations.zip, download that and open it up, and you should see something with heart rate and currency converter. Now you just have to do one or the other of these options. So you can choose these two options and do one or the other of them. So I'm just going to walk through both. So for calculating the maximum heart rate, this is a formula that comes from the CDC. So if I open that up, it gives you some information about the heart rate, and it has two versions for moderate exercise and vigorous exercise. We're actually going to do it for three versions, so a slight modification of this, but using these same basic numbers. So I'm going to open up this heart rate. So this heart rate starting point, and walk you through that. So it declares a scanner and a number of variables: an age variable, a maximum heart rate, and in the lower and upper target heart rates. So first, we ask the user to enter your age and read that into the age variable. Then we calculate the maximum heart rate, which is just 220 minus the age. And once we have that maximum heart rate, we can we'll print that out, and then we can figure out the target heart rate. Now for moderate exercise, it's half of the maximum, somewhere between half the maximum and 0.7 of the maximum. For I mean, yeah, and then for average exercise, it's between 0.6 of the maximum and 0.8 of the maximum, and for vigorous exercise, it's between 0.7 of the maximum and 0.85 of the maximum. So again, we calculate the maximum here, and then the target heart rate is just some portion of that we calculate each time. Now, right now, it prints off all three. Let's run this. It's just the main routine, so we can just run it here. Enter your age. I am 51. And it calculates this. And again, we're not going to worry too much about the formatting here until we get to that point. So target age rate for moderate age prints this out. And again, two numbers somewhere between here and there. So again, if I was doing vigorous exercise and I'm 51, I would want a target heart rate between 118 and 143 beats per minute. But I don't want to print this all three out each time. I'm going to want to ask the user. So let's go back here. Update the comments. Yes, ask the user if they're doing moderate, average, or vigorous exercise. And you want to enter their response as an integer. So something like 1 for moderate, da 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 da. Read that integer in. And then instead of displaying all three heart rates, stick in some if-thens or if-then-else statements to display just what they want. So when I run this, rather than it saying, rather than calculating all these things, it should just calculate one of them. So let's run this. This is a completed version I have now. I'm going to run. So again, enter your age. So let's say we're 24, and moderate, average, or vigorous. I'm going to do average exercise. I'm going to enter 2, and then it should display that out. Okay, I had a bug in my program that wasn't working, so now it's done. So now I'm entering 2 for average exercise, and should say your target heart rate is for average exercise is between 117 and 156. And again, I can run this for a different option and a different age. So I can, oops, why did I do that? I just want to run the main program. Okay. So I can enter another age. So let's say 30 and vigorous exercise, and again it'll tell me what the target rate for vigorous exercise. So again, when we're printing this out, it should print that out in the range. So again, that should display what you need, and try it. Now let's look at the currency converter again real quickly. Similar here, open up this currency converter. So here's the currency converter. Um, we declare a scanner here. We have variables for the US dollar, Chinese yuan. Yep, so in the Irish euro and the Canadian dollar. Then we ask the user enter their how many US dollars they have. These are all doubles. So we read it in using next double and store that in there. And then we calculate the Chinese yuan. Yuan is US dollars times 6.35 is the current conversion rate, and we display that. And convert the US dollars to euros and US dollars to Canadian dollars and print these out. And again, we're printing out all three to start with. So now when we compile this and run it, if I say I have $100, it'll say $100 is equal to 635 Chinese yuans, and similar for Irish euros and Canadian dollars. But you're going to want to modify this. So let's look at that. So similar to the other one, ask the user if they're going to China, Ireland, or Canada, and read that into an integer. Instead of displaying all the currencies, just display the one that they select. So let's see how the final version of this should work. So here's how it should work when it's done. Oops, let me try to clear this first. Okay, so it asks me how many US dollars I have. So let's say I have $47.23. And ask me where I'm going. Again, I'm doing this on multiple lines. You can just do this on one line if you want. So I'm just going to say I wanted to go to China. I'm going to China in December, so I'm excited about that. So $47 equal to $299.91, or 91 Chinese yuan. So again, don't worry about the rounding stuff necessarily for the basic assignments. So once you get that done, there are a couple bonus things you can try. Display an error value if they enter a legal value for the selected thing. So if they select don't do 1, 2, or 3. Also check the currency. Let's say, well, for an age, let's say the age should be between 1 and 120. And let's say the currency, we don't want negative numbers or something. So maybe something between $1 and $1,000,000. So check that out. Another thing you can do is look at formatting the currency for the heart rate, display no decimals, and for currencies, try to display 2 decimals. Of course, all these are just bonus challenges. You don't have to do these. You're just encouraged to try them out if you want, or even just do one of them. That's a cool thing. One thing is you do a bonus challenge and you get something small wrong up here, like you forget a comment or do something else, I will give you a little slack and if you did a bonus challenge. Okay, that's it. Good luck on the exercises.